Well, adopting a new furry member into the family can be such an exciting time, but what happens
We
when
wanted
the
to tell you
excitement...
that he's here for you. By the way.
Yeah. What happens when that excitement wears off and you come home and you find things have been chewed up? Maybe everything has been chewed up when you leave the house. That's not exciting. So today, we are welcoming you to Celebrate Michigan, the show produced on the campus of Medina University. I'm Chris Benson.
And I'm Dennis Newbacher, the jokester of the crowd. Sorry about that. I mean, there's a lot of things we're going to learn in this show with the professional dog trainers Donna Fournier and Mark Bennett. So we welcome you both to Celebrate Michigan.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is so cool. We have Stumpy here as well.
Yes.
He's not, by the way, going home with you.
Oh,
Stumpy's going home with him. Yeah. But everybody wants to bring a dog home. But there's a lot more involved than just saying, oh, let's go get a dog. Or let's present one as a Christmas gift to somebody. What's going on with this? We love dogs, we love animals, but there's a lot more to going on to having a dog.
You really need to understand what your lifestyle is, what you can accommodate. A lot of dogs, especially different breeds, have different exercise requirements, mental stimulation requirements, and you want to make sure you can fulfill that. A dog being left home 8 hours a day on its own, it's pretty stressful. If you're out of the house more than you're in the house, maybe a dog is not for you.
How did you come to get involved like this?
I started out working in animal hospitals, and we lost our behaviorist that was working at the clinic I was at, and we got a flyer for a presentation, a seminar, and they asked who was interested. I said me, and off I went, and that's where I met the gentleman I learned from.
Wow. Humans should also have a behaviorist.
I was going to say, I think I know what a behavior is, but for those who don't know, what is a behaviorist?
We study the behavior of the animal that is having challenges. Usually we're looking for signs of stress, anxiety, any sort of behavior problem. They speak more through their behavior than vocally. So a behaviorist is someone who studies that behavior.
In humans, we can mask that.
Yes.
But animals, I'm thinking, Mark, they don't mask it as easily, do they?
No,
it comes out very. How does it show up? How do you find out that this is happening?
Well, for example, for anxiety and fear, you might see them tucking their tail between their legs, shaking, cowering in a corner away from anything. The slightest movement or noise might, make them jump and skitter. They're not good at hiding it all. They're very honest with their intention.
Will they urinate? Will they?
They can. They can.
That happens, and that's, of course, people get then really angry. It makes the dog even worse.
Correct.
Feeling that they must feel, oh my gosh, now I'm really the dregs of the earth. I've done this. So that's a problem you have to work with, I'm assuming. Right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
And when should you, so you get a puppy, and when should you start training them? Is there a time when it's too soon or too late?
Once they're weaned and they've been in your home, start training.
Okay.
With puppies, training should always be positive. You don't want to introduce a training tool, which would be like a training collar or a leash. You don't want to introduce that until they're older and more mature. But with puppies, we use food, fun, and toys.
When do you bring a dog home, Mark? How old does a dog have to be before you finally bring it home to adopt? 6, 8 weeks? Is there a
7 to 10.
7 to 10.
7 to 10.
7 to 10.
Better to go longer? Or does it make you think then?
Longer is better for socialization.
Yeah.
They spend more time around their mother, around the other puppies, so they start to develop better bite inhibition, better play style. They just get more used to other dog socialization.
Okay.
And is there a time when the dog is ever too old to be taught something, where
Never.
they refuse? They're like, I'm done.
Now, some dogs can just not be set to learn. Some were bred to be cute, not necessarily smart.
Okay. Happens.
There are a lot of breeds.
But yes, there are. But any age, as long as you have the right motivation for the animal. It could be your love, it could be food. Through food, most things are possible.
How old is Stumpy?
He is just about 2.
Yeah.
He was my shelter find.
And is that still in the puppy? Like, how long is the puppy phase, would you say?
Once they're adult-brained, and that will vary from breed to breed.
Okay.
Some breeds do take longer to mature, like your giant breeds, your Mastiffs, your Great Danes. They take a little bit longer to mature, so we look at them as adult when they're closer to 2. The younger or smaller breeds, we say they're usually an adult by 1.
It's kind of interesting too, because when you started to mention those two different dogs, the small versus the large, it's kind of ironic. Sometimes the largest dogs can be the nicest dogs, most gentle dogs, and these little ones are like, oh my goodness! If they get mad, they're going to take your hide. They're going to tell you they're mad. The bigger dogs are kind of like, oh, okay,
Some of that is how they were raised and what they were allowed to get away with.
Yeah. Well, the dog that everybody is so concerned about, I missed the name of it. I'm thinking of, what is the dog that everybody says you shouldn't adopt? What's that? Is somebody hollering out? German not German Shepherds, but the other. The pit bull. Is that? What do you think, Mark? What do you see? They seem to be very nice dogs. I think it depends on how they're raised.
It's
right?
absolutely how they're raised, how they're trained, how they're socialized from a young age. You know, across the board, every dog breed is going to have its good and its bad.
Yeah.
But pit bulls, honestly, and you see every decade they have a bad rap. It was pit bulls. Before that, it was Dobermans, German
Right.
Shepherds. I mean,
Rottweilers.
And they're a terrier, aren't they?
Yes.
The
Yes.
pit bulls.
Yes.
So, and terrier's a very good dog.
They're very smart.
Yeah.
They require a lot of exercise.
So
We were
that's
talking
two of
about
the-
that earlier. Have a Jack Russell. I guarantee you, if you do not
Yes.
exercise that dog, that energy is going to go somewhere in your home, and
Yes.
you want it to be good.
It's a very intelligent dog,
Play
too.
with
You-
the dog. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, you're
there's
gone
where-
for a number of hours during the day, so
Yeah.
is easy, comfortable? But
Well, see, now and this can be controversial too, we use a crate when we're away because we don't want the dog to be out
Right.
and about and eat something that could hurt him. But some people don't believe in crates.
Yes.
that's
some
worked
people
effectively
don't.
for us.
Yes,
So
crate training is ideal because it's their bedroom. You want them to associate that with a positive place. This is a place that I go for comfort.
Right.
This is a place I go when I'm feeling stressed, when I'm feeling
our dog
scared.
will run. If he's a little
Yes.
upset or she's a little upset, she will run to her cage
Yes.
and go. And she looks very happy there.
Yes.
Like, okay, I'm
That's
okay
their
here for a
bedroom.
few.
Who
And then
doesn't
she'll finally
like
walk
their
Yeah, I
out.
know.
Yeah,
I would like to be mine all day.
The old cave. And you, I don't know if we have time in this segment, but you've done something very interesting. Gone out to Colorado and studied dogs and their relationship to wolves. Got to talk to you about this, Mark. How did this go? It's very interesting.
I've always had a love for animals. Through a recent career change, I decided just to pursue my passion and just do what makes me happy. Spent a couple weeks out in Colorado, and through that, I worked out at the Colorado Wolf and Wildlife Conservation Center.
Oh, wow.
A couple weeks, right? Is that what you said?
Yes, yes, and it was an incredible experience.
Up in the mountains?
Yes, yep.
Oh, that
Tucked
was
away
beautiful.
from everything, which was very nice and peaceful.
And wolves are very available to that environment already, right? I mean,
Yes.
they live there.
Correct.
In
Yep.
a natural environment. How smart are wolves? They appear to be very intelligent.
Incredibly
animals.
smart.
Yeah.
Cunning
you
is
can-
the word I
Has
would
that,
use.
has that transferred into the dog breeds?
Yes. One interesting difference you'll see, though, is wolves work better as a team than dogs do. Dogs are very easy to train, whereas wolves are more resistant to being trained, just not in their nature.
Yeah.
But when you see teamwork exercises, wolves will outdo the dogs every single
Every
time.
time.
Yeah, yeah. Big
Every
animals
time.
too, wolves in general?
Oh, yes.
How big are we talking? 150, 200 pounds?
Just to give you an idea, I have a picture of me sitting down next to one of the medium-sized, according to them, and it was up above
oh
my head like
gosh.
this.
Well,
That's a big.
on that note, we're going to take a short break, but come back and we're going to learn a lot of cool things that you can see to help our furry friends learn. Stay tuned.
Donna Fournier, Mark Bennett. You see.
Yes, ready, ready.
Oh, come on, Randy. Animal shelter, here I come. And no, I'm not crazy or emotionally damaged. That's a stereotype. I just belong to a total loser. I'm a good dog. So if you want a pet, adopt. And if you see Randy, tell him he dropped his wallet.
Nice. No. Oops. Yeah, sure. Let's go.
Moms everywhere are finding ways to keep kids active and healthy.
Works every time.
Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov.
Sounds like you could use some Van Gogurt. It's fortified with arch-rich nutrients to improve your math and reading skills. Catch!
Van Gogurt, thanks. So what's the deal with your ear?
Always with the ear, huh?
Feed your kids the arts. For 10 simple ways to learn how, visit AmericansForTheArts.org.
In 1977, an 8-year-old boy picked up the game of golf from his father. The odds of that same boy then making it to the US and European pro golf tours, 1 in 7 million. The odds of the Big Easy winning the US Open twice, 1 in 1.2 billion. The odds of him having a child diagnosed with autism, 1 in 110. Ernie Els encourages you to learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Welcome back to Celebrate Michigan. I'm Chris Benson.
And I'm Dennis Newbach. Donna, Fournier, and Mark Bennett are joining us. They're dog trainers. They work with animals for many, many years, and they have a lot of things that they're sharing with us. Great tips about working with dogs, but they brought some tools to work with dogs. These are really what they are, right?
Yes.
There's a lot of fun stuff on this table.
Yes. Every single thing here can be used not just for training, but it's also problem solving and a great way to build your bond with your dog.
Okay.
So a lot of these products I talk about in the free puppy seminar that we do, and one of the first ones that I love is the Snuggle Puppy.
Oh, I have to hold him because he's
the,
so cute.
The Snuggle Puppy is designed for when we first bring our baby home. They went from having a lot of litter mates and a lot of noise and a lot of comfort to not. So we need to fill that gap. This works on a natural recorded heartbeat, and the heart actually does a little bump, and it goes right inside the dog. The Snuggle Puppy line also carries a harness and a blanket as well that you can find, so you can do it for travel.
Will the puppies separate from that big group that they were born with easily most of the time? Will they quickly adapt? What usually happens?
We see about a month of what we call the honeymoon period, where everything's pretty awesome. Before they start to test boundaries a little bit more.
Okay.
And then on the end we have the potty training bells. We use this to teach a dog how to tell us, because they think they're very, very obvious with their body language, but we don't always pick up on that. So we teach them how to communicate with us. I have to go potty, I'm going to ring the bell.
My dog comes in and stares at me for long periods of time.
I'm staring at you. How do you not know what I mean?
Wake up from your nap, take me outside.
Whenever you're ready.
Right. And one of the things that I use for Stumpy, because we walk quite frequently, we get into a little bit of running, and for nighttime or early morning, you want to make sure that you have something reflective for them to keep them up. They also have blinking lights and things like that. Another one of my favorite products, because we all have those of us who have dogs, we kind of get annoyed by the squeakers. This one, the Hear Doggy.
That's my favorite.
Oh, you can't hear it.
There's no squeak.
Stumpy
knows it's
Did
there.
you see Stumpy popped right up his head?
Yes.
Wow.
As opposed to something like this.
Which is also awesome.
It is awesome. It cracks me up. Labeling your dog while you have them out and about is a really good idea. So this can actually slip onto a leash or onto the collar so that you can label them. Stumpy is wearing a bandana. So there's a lot of different ways to label your dog. Just, I'm in the middle of doing something. I don't want to be disturbed by somebody wanting to stop and pet him. I want to keep working with them, so I'll label him in training.
Because that can be really distracting, I imagine, when you're trying to get your dog to not pay attention to all these stimuli, and then I come up and I'm like, oh, it's just a cute baby. Right. And you're like, okay,
he's lost it at that point. Travel carrier for food or water is a really great idea if you're going to be traveling with your pets or you're taking them for a hike or a walk.
By the way, Mark, I see a lot of people running with their dogs. How it concerns me, especially in the hot weather and stuff like that. What about this? When you're out, Mark, do you run with a dog? Do you do that very often?
I have. I would say I'm not
and
recently.
How do you do this? And how do you plan that for the dog? Because a lot of these dogs, I'm sure they can't. This might be hard on their legs to run these distances.
It's breed dependent. Some breeds absolutely love long distance running. Some of them are only good for short distance sprints. Some of them don't, necessarily, like, they need exercise, but running isn't necessarily the best for them because of joints.
You also want to consider the shape of the face. If we have a short pushed-in face like Stumpy, we're not going to do as well in a hot environment or a humid environment as a dog with a longer snout.
Why is that? Because of the tongue not being able to
It's a shorter nasal passageway, and so we can't move air. And how a dog thermal regulates is actually by moving air.
Oh, I'll be darned.
That panting is what cools them off and keeps their temperature where it
through their
should.
paws too, right?
Through their paws
that's how
too.
they get rid of the heat too. So I'm thinking of hot pavement.
Yes.
That
so
concerns me.
Paw protectors are a great way to go. I'm sure you've seen them, the cute little booties you can put on.
There's a lot of dogs kind of go there when they first put them on. They're going,
take a video of it the first time.
YouTube.
Yes. But you can also use paw wax. Musher's Secret is one of my favorite paw waxes to use. It's all natural, and you just take a little bit of the wax, you wipe it on the bottom of their paw, and that will protect them in the cold or in the heat.
And you have a lot of cool, intelligence toys
So
here. Tell us about those.
One of my favorite ones is the Kong Wobbler. For those of us who are over 40, we remember the Weeble Wobbles.
Yes.
It works on the Weeble Wobble concept. It won't fall over. You can fill it with their dog food or with a treat. And what they do is you give this to them right before you walk out the door, and now they've got something to occupy them while you're gone.
Nice. Trying to get the
If
treats
you're
out of
expecting
there.
your fiance to ask you to marry them, and they come up with that Kong toy, and the ring is in there, then you know you're marrying the dog as well.
Right.
Dog people would do that.
Yeah. So looking for other intelligence toys, you can find things like this where you can shove treats
Neat.
in, and they've got to figure out how do I get the treat
That's good
out
for
of
the
there.
teeth. And the chewing
Yes.
is not only good for the nervousness, the anxiety, right? But it's to clean the
Clean the
teeth.
teeth,
Correct.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Right.
then you want to look at things that are 100% natural. You also want to check the labels and make sure that the products that you're getting are sealed in a package. Don't get the rawhides that are just laying out there in the shelf
Okay. How
because
about a chicken-
other
how about
dogs
a
have
chicken
walked
bone?
by
Yeah.
and licked them.
That's
And
it.
now bacteria is
Right.
growing.
Now, some people say rawhide might be okay, but there's certain rawhide that is good or not good. Or
I stay away from no bones, no rawhide,
right?
because they can swallow, but they
Right.
can't always pass out.
How my dog likes to chew sticks out in the yard. Is that okay? Is that? I mean, I'm worried about that getting
Yes,
stuck.
you should worry about that. That's
Okay.
really not a good idea either.
Okay.
So when you're looking at chews, you want to stick to
Okay,
things like
there we go.
this
There
is
we go.
another
There we go.
product made by Kong. And I want to say that all of these products were supplied by Premier Pet Supply in Livonia.
Thank you.
They were very kind, and what I love about them
Where are
too
they
is
located, by the way?
they're on Merriman and 5 Mile,
Okay,
right on the
great.
corner next to the Honey Baked Ham
Oh,
store.
sure,
right
sure.
around the corner.
Okay, yeah.
What I love about them too is they have a whole aisle devoted to products made in America.
Great.
So like these treats are actually made by a local woman.
That's peanut butter, and this is
Yes,
pumpkin.
peanut butter and pumpkin.
pumpkin.
Look, there's Michigan right on
Yep,
there.
Yeah.
she's a local vendor. She
Very
makes
good.
them right out of her own kitchen, and she supplies them through
Great.
Premier Pets. So you want to look for products that are safe. This is pretty flexible,
Yeah.
and we can't really do a whole lot of damage with this. Now, if you have a really dyed-in-the-wool chewer, then you want to step up your game and go to something a little more challenging for them.
Right.
And they have to really figure out, how do I get
Yes,
the
and-
food
Are
out of
certain
there? And it
breeds
keeps
more
them
a
excited.
chewing dog than other breeds, Mark? Or is there certain dogs that really like to chew more than other dogs? Or not? Does it make any
I mean,
difference?
I'd say they all chew, but some of them are more active or chew
Yeah.
a little more
Right. Like
roughly
Stumpy,
than some.
he'd like to chew a lot.
Oh, he loves
Yes.
to chew.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
He loves to chew.
So-
Well,
most of these, and you'll see Stumpy is actually wearing the Freedom No Pull harness, which
Right.
is also available at Premier
Right.
Pets. What I like about Premier Pets is they carry products I can't find in other stores,
Sure.
and the Freedom harness is one of them.
Great.
Well, chew on this. We'll be right back, and we'll get
We'll be
more
right back.
some tricks, and you're going to see Stumpy, so stay tuned.
Donna Fournier, Mark Bennett join us. Dog trainers, animal trainers.
You realize that 49 million Americans struggle with hunger? That's 1 out of every 6 Americans. These people are around us every day. They're our friends, they're our coworkers, their kids go to school with our kids. Sometimes we're not even aware that they're struggling. This problem is closer than you think. So is the solution.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
I want to see the world.
When you pick up a book, I used to read every night to all the younger kids, and let your imagination break free, you won't believe how much fun it can be.
Let down your
Experience a world of adventure, excitement, and endless possibilities. Get tangled up in a good book. Explore new worlds. Read. Visit read.gov today.
Learning how to kickflip 6 stairs takes determination. So will getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
Welcome back to Celebrate Michigan. I'm Chris Benson.
And I'm Dennis Newbacher. With us today are professional dog trainers Donna, Fournier, and Mark Bennett. And we're into the third segment of the show. Before we go any farther, I'm thinking when you're given the treats, you're going to be giving treats here in this. The big thing now is watching out for too much salt, too, for animals, right? That's a big thing. I didn't know about that. It's easy to give a peanut and, potato chip and so on, but there's a lot of salt in it.
You shouldn't do that at all. No people food is the general rule.
Is that what you basically do? No people food?
Yep. Anything that's made for dogs, and preferably made in the U.S. because it has passed through our Food and Drug Administration, so we know there's no additional additives.
Okay. Okay. Good to remember.
You've got some really interesting things here on our floor, so tell us what you're about to do.
So we talked about intelligence and stimulating the brain, and one of the things that you need to do when you are going to be away from your dog for a while, or you just want to give them something like Stumpy enjoys learning. He loves to do things, so I have to constantly find new ways. And rather than spend an arm and a leg on the intelligence toys, you create your own. It's very simple. You take a folded towel in half, you lay treats down just like Mark has, and then he's going to roll it up. And I usually put more of a jackpot at one end than at the other.
There are two treats at that end, I see.
So what we're going to do is we're going to let Stumpy solve this puzzle that we've just created out of a rolled towel. It doesn't seem like much.
Have we officially introduced Stumpy, by the way?
This is Stumpy, everyone.
This is Stumpy. This is Stumpy.
So, yes, what Stumpy has to do is figure out how do I unroll this to get more of those goodies that are hiding.
Okay, let's watch here.
So he may paw at it, he may roll it with his nose. A lot of times I hold it. Good.
Go,
so
Stumpy.
He knows they're in there.
He's like, man, where are they? And what kind of dog? He's got one. What kind of dog is Stumpy? I don't know when we talked about that.
I'm waiting on his DNA, but as of right now, I was told when I adopted him from the shelter that he was a Pug Boston Terrier mix.
Now he's got the idea.
Yes.
Now he's ready to roll.
You see how he's got it figured out. How do I get this?
Does it go this way? Does it go that way?
Really cheap, really easy.
Yeah.
Keeps him busy until he solves the puzzle. And to make it more challenging, before you fold it in half, you can put more treats in, fold it in half, put more treats, then roll it all up.
And again, like you said, it keeps them stimulated. And if the weather's bad, you can't get outside, or you're in a small apartment or something like that, your dog can still get some activity.
I always say a tired dog is a good dog. So if we can, and think about it from our perspective, if we could go out and dig a hole in our backyard for 8 hours and we would be physically exhausted, but then our brain would be telling us, you've got to do this and this and this. So we'd be up all night. If we make the mind tired, the body follows.
There you go.
So part of that, and then this box, again, is just full of random things. In the bottom are some good treats that he's got to figure out how
to get to him.
He's a smart little guy.
Yes, he is.
He really is.
So this, again, sounds like an inexpensive way with objects around your house.
Yes.
And it sounds like you can change it up.
Yes.
So your dog is like, wait a minute, what is this?
You can make the box deeper. You can fill it with empty water bottles. So before you take your recycling out, use different items. Obviously, you want to make sure whatever you use is safe for them, that if they did chew it, it won't harm them. So this is just a fun, busy toy. Also teaches them to not be scared of the rustling sounds and random noises.
So and all you've got in there is some treats in the bottom, and then just some crumpled up pieces of paper in a box.
Yep.
So great.
And it'll keep him occupied for a while. He'll keep going back to it to see if he missed one.
And we were talking about this. Sometimes I was sharing a story about how we bought this toy, and it was like a stump with like squirrels in it, and on the package it said, oh, this, it'll take your dog a while to get this. And my dog was like, okay, got him out. What do we do now? And so this kind of keeps it fresh for them.
Sure.
Okay.
Always.
What else
you can change it.
Sure.
So one of the fun things, because as I said, Stumpy likes to learn, as a lot of dogs do, one of the common things we end up with is toys all over the place. So I have taught Stumpy how to clean up his toys and put them back
in the middle of the night.
Yes, it's as bad as a Lego.
Oh my gosh.
So when I ask him to, well, now he's distracted by all the good smelling
Why don't
treats
you
over
give me
there.
that, Mark? I'll help get that out of the way for you, then.
He's like, but it's so exciting and fresh and new.
Did you leave me any treats in here?
I know.
Shake it off,
Oh, there goes your ball. There goes your ball.
Hey, can you get me a toy? Can you get one?
Oh, look at that. So you're telling him to get them and put them in the little box for you.
Get it.
I'll be darned.
Oh, my God.
Away.
Good boy.
All the way.
He's like, well, wait, is there something in there?
Do you, when you're first training, do you positive reinforce
There
with
you
the treat?
go. Get another
And
one.
that's always the way to train, Mark?
Yes.
with positive reinforcement and having something?
Good.
Yes, I would say so. It's if you make them want to learn, if you make it fun for them, and they get rewarded out of it, they're going to learn so much faster.
But you can keep giving. You can overtreat in some ways, can't you, Mark? I mean, you can.
Correct.
So you have to sometimes say good boy or good girl,
Right,
and that's it.
You can use affection, you can use toys, you can use food, anything that will motivate them. It's really, what is the paycheck for them at the end of the day?
Sure.
So what if you have a dog so I may have had a dog who was overly motivated by food, so I would, try to teach them like sit, stay, and then they were so focused on the food, I was not effective in
So you switch
getting him
it.
to listen.
Yeah.
So
You
what
switch
do you
it to a
suggest?
toy.
Okay.
Switch it to a favorite toy. So you can see Stumpy will play with a lot of different toys, but his Rocky Raccoon is his favorite.
Okay.
So Rocky disappears for a while, and then when I need him to get off the food train, then we introduce Rocky as the reward, giving them a playtime, something like along those lines.
Let's go back to those the toys that were popular for a long time. Rawhide, nylabone, things like that, not good. Natural bones, not good, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Nylabone was popular for so long, but now the people are beginning to say, wait a minute here. And I'm not trying to criticize nylabone, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But that's a big business.
Yes, and it really depends on the type of nylabone, because they do make several different versions of
So
them.
what are you looking for?
I'm looking for the more pliable, like that Kong.
Okay.
That's more rubbery, so if they do manage to get a piece
Goes
off,
through
they
the
can
system.
only get a small piece off, and we're not going to break a tooth on it.
Right.
So you want to stick to softer things, but not too soft that they could eat the whole thing, and obviously big enough to where they can't swallow it.
Okay.
So I know people have been watching and they're like, wait, I need to look, Donna, Mark, I need to look these people up because they are going to help me with my dog issue. How can people find you? Website, social media?
Yep. Okay. My website is servicepawsbydonna.com. There's a contact page there, and you can also sign up for the free puppy seminar and social that happens on the 4th Wednesday of every month at the Garden City VCA.
Oh, that's great. And it's
7 p.m.
free.
It's free.
Oh, how do you do this for free, and why do you do this for free?
Because puppy information is so important. I want to get owners on the right track from the moment they bring that puppy home, and we cover things like the snuggle puppy, house training bells. All of the puppy needs are addressed right away.
Well, thank you both so much for coming today, and thank you
Fournier,
for joining us.
Bennett, thank you so much. And Stumpy, thanks for being here. Learned a lot from you guys. We sure appreciate you being
See you
here.
next time.
Celebrate Michigan. We'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.
Can you wave?
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Wave. There you go, good boy.